I get one more fucking unsolicited, hi Caleb, this is Hannah with Renee Oil. We want to make sure everyone has all the information they need. When and where you plan on it. I'm getting like 20 of these a day. I would show it, but I don't want to accidentally dox my phone number somehow. Fucking wild, bro. I should start the stream just in case. Yo.
Wait. Oh, dude, I almost forgot. I'm listening to my microphone.
The music's on.
It's like, I just forget about these things. It's easy. Really easy to
There we
forget.
go.
Super.
Kings.
Super easy to forget. But yeah.
Kings. How are you doing on this fine evening? What's today?
It's
October
Sunday or something, right?
18th. Yes, it's Sunday, October 18th. A little bit of a late episode this week coming at you from the South, as usual, with my man David and me. And we love you.
You know, I also want people to realize too that like you know, you don't have to be from the South to enjoy Left in the South. You know, I feel like we might be alienating some people, you know, because they're like, you know, I'm not really from the South. You know, how am I going to enjoy this podcast, right? But no. In fact, you don't have to be from the South to enjoy this podcast because we barely even talk about the South.
In fact, we're basically outcasts here. So, you know, like, no one wants us here.
Yeah,
we probably vibe more with people from probably
West.
Foreign countries than we do with basically anyone here.
It's weird because like our most listened to state is Virginia, and
really?
Yeah, and Washington is like our most listened to area.
Antifa headquarters.
Hey, if you're from Washington in Virginia, like DC.
Oh, DC.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Donald Trump, you know, is out there listening to our podcast.
Shit, you're right. It's probably a federal agent listening to our
real,
shit.
like multiple federal
Shout
agents.
out, brother.
Hey, FBI agent.
Thanks for always staying true to us. Yeah, look, we got one viewer right now. That's him. I wish I could connect more with you.
Yeah, there's probably like you know, there's an office just for Left in the South over in DC. They're like, oh shit, their fucking stream's on. Get in. Like these Antifa fucking leaders here.
I have this idea for a great original film about a love connection between the FBI agent in my phone and me. And I think that it would be a great
like that
fucking
one
movie.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen that movie where the guy falls in love with the like AI, like it was a dating AI. I don't know if you ever seen it.
No, I've never seen that. But BoJack did a joke storyline about it in one episode where Todd's phone falls in love with Mrs. Princess, whatever the fuck's phone. How do I not remember? But anyway, that was a good episode.
Yeah. Oh god, BoJack, man. I remember like when BoJack finished, like Gail's like, bro, that was so good. We need to do like a whole series.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fucking like review. We need to go in depth on the second to last episode.
Yeah.
It was
yeah, we're
lazy.
Good. Fuck. That we should have done that, but dude, that series was so good. David and I stayed up together and watched it, and we were like, just chilling, watching fucking BoJack all night.
Back then, we used to just watch The Office together.
Yeah.
So I've never seen The Office.
Back in the before 4 times.
Yeah, before the pandemic. But you know, before we get into Xeon Pilot, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. But
anyway, here's Wonderwall. Oh yeah, I'm still holding my guitar. I kind of forgot. I'll put this shit up. I was gonna do a little intro music, but our intro music was already playing, so I didn't have to. But today's plan is to have a very chilled, laid-back stream. A lot of news happened today. Before we get started on the Left and the South podcast, we just wanted to, you know, shoot the shit, talk to you guys for a minute, let people get in here. You know us, David and I. We are known for our laid-backness. I definitely have not gone into yelling tirades on this podcast. I've never done that, and I never will.
Never.
Because that's just not my character. You know what I mean? I'm a very chill person. very laid back. I'm not passionate about anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Just, cruising.
Yep.
And that's why you guys are fans.
That's how it is. How it always has been, frankly. There's a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things happened. But
you want to
do our start soon? Yeah, start the intro here up soon.
Yeah. Official fucking intro.
So we know when to fucking ship and cut this shit. But okay. Welcome to Love and Saw Podcast, episode 36. This is the 36th week, 36th episode. Well, it's a little longer than 36 weeks, but yeah, 36th episode, man. How you been doing?
Almost a year of doing this podcast and loving every second of it, man.
Still happening. Our first episode dropped November 3rd of 2019.
Yes, sir.
And we are almost upon the hour. Also, Election Day.
Coming up, yeah. It was previously a twinkle in the future of our eyes. Oh, episode 35 in the title, apparently. Fritz says, "What's up, freaks and geeks?" and immediately corrects our title. And you know what? I support that shit. David, step it up, man. Come on.
That's on me, man.
We're professional podcasters going on a year of doing this. SMH my head.
I mean, we've only been doing the streams for a little bit.
Yeah, a couple weeks. But anyway.
I don't know why it's
How are you doing on this fine day, David?
I'm doing fucking
this fine,
excellent.
Lovely evening. We've had a busy week.
Yeah, we've been playing WoW just dropped.
Yeah, the new pre-patch.
And we've been playing that, grinding that shit. Also, school's also happening. Still doing the school shit, surprisingly.
David's so behind in World of Warcraft because he has to work or some shit. I don't know. He's like a lame little bitch. Really. Yeah, imagine having to work in this day and age. Like, honestly, I'm a trust fund baby, so this flag is just bullshit. I'm just LARPing.
I have a funny story. I told Caleb the other day. The other day I was at work, and someone was trying to hand me $100 bill, and of course we're only allowed to keep $50 in the cash register, so we don't get fucking mugged for all we're worth, right? And the guy behind me's like, yeah, no one can accept $100 bills these days because of that North Korean super bill, $100 bill. And I was like, what?
No other country, North Korea, the one country in the world that literally hasn't had contact with modern society in the past 50 years. He picks that one.
And of course, I'm intrigued. I'm curious as to what a super $100 bill is. Yeah. Right. And I asked him about it. And he's like, yeah. He's telling me how the North Koreans developed this $100 bill that's indistinguishable from our $100 bill. And he's like, even the pens don't even work out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Even if that were the case, why would it matter? Because if it's functionally the same as our money, then it's basically our money. It makes no difference. I guess the idea being that they're trying to inflate our economy by slipping fake $100 bills in.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. I was going to ask him where you heard that, but I know it's some Facebook or some shit. So I'm like, all right, can I have your name for your order? Thank you.
Yeah. What's your name, sir? Thank you. Wait outside.
Yeah.
It's not totally crazy because there have been times the U.S. has actually done this where you drop a country's currency over the U.S. dropped crates of currency at one point. I forget which country it was, but it causes a ton of inflation. That there is some form of truth to that, but I somehow don't think North Korea is getting fake $100 bills into our country.
Yeah. But just it was really random, so fucking random, and that this guy just heard of this.
Dude, back when I worked in the hell that was Kroger, I had a similar story where this really old white lady came up to me while I was stocking bananas, and she's obsessed with yellow banana. She's like, if there's a hint of green on this banana, I'm literally gonna scream. And every single time she comes by, she makes me. I'm like, oh god, I literally see her coming. I'm trying to hide in the back fucking room, no clipping into the back room. And she sees me. She's like, excuse me, sir, do you have any more yellow bananas? And I'm looking at all the bananas, different shades of the fucking rainbow yellow. And I'm like, yeah, you can pick any of these. And she's like, I mean, what about the ones in the back? And so I have to go and I have to go get boxes of bananas and bring them out for her to inspect all the fucking bananas. I wanted to kill myself every time she came through, dude. Once
but
a
were
week,
they more
man.
fresh though, or were they more?
No,
yellow?
they weren't. They're literally the same. They
the
all
same
arrive
shade.
at the same
like
time.
She takes out one of those like the color palette things, you know, to like checking the fucking color banana, you know what I mean, like the sample paint shit.
Yeah.
Like checking the colors.
Green. No. Dude, that's the thing. Like, they all arrive on the same truck at the same time. Like, you have to just come at a different time in the week. I can't make them more yellow. There's no fucking technique for that. I'm sorry, but triggers me.
We got some Fritz comments if you want to read that.
It's not the new 100, it's the older 100 that they nailed. I have no idea. I've never heard that story.
Even real?
I've never heard that story. I have no idea.
This must be a new story.
I'm sure that there are like criminal people enterprises that do that, but I don't think it's North Korea. It's probably domestic.
Yeah, it's probably just you know, they finally mastered the craft. But
yeah,
you know, they're always.
Isn't that why they released the new $100 bill with that like what is it called, like
the blue thing,
holographic strip on it? You know, where you like tilt
I mean, they're
it and
always
it looks
like
different.
doing fucking fraud detection, fucking shits on like the bills and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
did you know if you try to photocopy a US dollar bill or some paper currency, your photocopy machine won't work?
Yeah, because like,
they're
the material
required by law to have software that recognizes currency and
really?
not
It just
copy
wouldn't work?
Yeah. You'd have to alter the programming on the machine to do it.
Crazy.
Or make your own or something.
But also I'm pretty sure they use like not paper. It's like
they use like cloth or something. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, but I know the first thing I want to talk about today is the Biden town hall, Biden and Trump town hall. I know you didn't really watch it. I mean, me neither. But I looked at the some highlights video, you know, 7 minutes, you know, because there's only 7 minutes worth of highlights from these fucking people. They don't really have anything interesting to say.
How was it? How did our boy do?
Bro, fucking Trump's town hall, which was probably the most entertaining, obviously.
Yeah.
Trump was fucking baited, bro, into this NBC town. I think it was hosted by NBC. He was fucking baited, bro. Like, when he came on there, it was not like just to make him look good, bro. Trump got destroyed during this town hall. Like, he was sweating. Really? He was attacking the person interviewing him.
Oh,
like,
no.
It was fucking hilarious.
No. That's so fucking funny, dude. Why do his handlers let him go to things like that? I don't get it. Like, does he not have people that scout that shit out?
Biden, I'm pretty sure had a town hall. He's like, fuck, I need my own now.
Oh, like he feels like he has to because Biden did it. That's probably true, and it's probably right. Yeah. Like, you know, we talked a little bit last week.
Biden still had better ratings due to those TikTokers, bro. They're at it again. You know, those political TikTokers.
The false ratings.
They you know, were watching the town hall on multiple devices to up Biden's
town hall ratings. Oh my god, that's so
back
cringe,
at it
dude.
again.
That's so cringe. It doesn't matter. It's so weird. I hate this spectacle ass world that we live in. It's so terrible.
Yeah,
why does it matter how many viewers he gets? I hate that shit.
You know,
it makes me so uncomfortable.
If you've been listening to the podcast, you know, there was also another time where TikTokers came out and they you know, they were trying to take up seats at one of Trump's rallies. And made it look pretty fucking hilarious because like no one was attending. You see the empty seats.
Tulsa, I think.
Yeah, Tulsa,
Oklahoma.
Where that guy fucking got corona and died.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Yeah.
Cain. What was his fucking name?
Herman Cain. Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's right. That was the same rally, wasn't it? Holy shit, that's true.
Got in, fucking disappeared.
Herman Cain died at a rally with like only 2,000 people. He died for nothing. That's crazy. That's actually epic as fuck. Holy shit.
Yep.
I totally like didn't make that connection somehow because the stories were like months apart because he took forever to fucking die in the hospital or whatever.
It's because like
rest in peace,
like
King.
he was doing, you know, he's like, oh, I'm feeling fine. The next week's fucking
he was ghost tweeting. Ghost tweet the whip, dude.
Yeah, for real.
That's insane. I can't wait to die and for my Twitter account to just start spewing conservative propaganda.
But yeah, I want to talk about too. You know, Trump's recovery. You know, like. So he fucking, you know, unfortunately.
He made it. He pulled through, boys.
Like, but, you know, goes to show you, man, like, with, you know, fucking technology that's not even accessible to the public, you know. That's all it takes to
something about something about having access to experimental cutting edge treatment and medical technology just makes it easier to survive deadly
Who would have
diseases. Who
thought?
knew?
Trump's like, I want to put this in every hospital. But like, it's so funny because the shit that he was taking, is like, they're anti-abortion, but those stem cells, the only way we get them is from the fucking fetuses. So it's like,
yeah, I've heard this argument, and it's totally true and 100% right, but it implies that the conservatives even care about that shit. They don't.
yeah,
They
but
really
it's so
don't.
like fucking hypocritical to like be anti-abortion and then say you want to put this in every hospital. Like, where are we gonna get these fetuses?
Fritz says Trump recovery equals a hell of a great recovery for $750. I know, right? What if we could give that healthcare to every American for that amount of money? That would be crazy, right? For the average American, anyway. That would be lovely.
But the town hall is basically boring.
Like, town hall boring. Really, Trump lived boring.
Unfortunately,
it would have been awesome if he died, man. Like, not even just because I don't like him, but just because. Right, yeah, but just because like it's such an unprecedented situation, and it would have been awesome to live through it, but just from a narcissistic
it was very
point of view.
highly unlikely. I don't like. You know, it's possible. It was very against him, but when you have fucking cutting edge tech, you can really just live anything. Like, he's literally on Minecraft creative mode.
Yeah, he's literally just having infinite source blocks.
Yes.
We could, says Fritz. I know, that's my point, brother. We should. We fucking should.
But I'm sure you heard this,
but if people, as long as people like Trump are paying $750, then we will never be able to.
Yep.
Unfortunately. But sorry, go ahead, King.
No, we're gonna pause for a second.
Oh, are we?
Yes, and then the next thing. No, it was for the video. But the next thing.
Oh, my bad.
I want to talk about is California. So I don't know if you heard this story. They're putting illegal ballot boxes in California. The Republican GOP. What do you think about that? And like, this is felony charges.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of. I don't know. It's interesting because like it seems like Democrats should be going way harder on this because it's like a direct way that they could potentially lose the election at the hands of the Republicans. Like people often talk about, oh, in order for Republicans to win, they have to cheat, and it's like I feel like if they're doing it, you have to try to stop them. But the Democrats kind of don't really care much. That's interesting to me. Or maybe they just feel like they can't do anything about it, which is probably true.
I don't know.
But
it's like anything the Republican Party, bro, the Democratic Party just fucking belly over. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, they don't care.
It's strange because to me, that's the one way that they can lose too. Because like Biden, judging by the polls, and like we all know polls are bullshit, but like in this case, like his lead is so big that I can't imagine many scenarios where he loses.
12-point lead, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And like
now.
much bigger than Hillary had in 2016, and historically it seems like he's likely to win. So I'm concerned, or I'm curious and confused why the Democrats wouldn't go harder on this election fraud shit, because it's blatantly election
fraud.
Trump
is literally like saying yes, keep on putting those illegal
ballot boxes.
Yeah, like he's I mean like literally like saying giving the go ahead for this.
What do you even do about that? Like, because that's the thing with election fraud is like all you have to do is make it work, and then it really helps your case. Because like if Trump manages to win on election night, it doesn't matter how hard he cheated, like all of his base will be ravenous as fuck if the Democrats try to imply even that he cheated somehow. Like they'll use that as ammo against the Democrats' point of view, and I feel like it won't end well for the Democrats. So it would be foolish of them not to go hard on this election fraud thing before the election. Because after the election, it's totally out the window. I feel like Trump could get enough support to stay in office if he cheats the election hard enough to actually win on paper.
The only way Trump wins is, his tactic. He's been saying, like, I want the election to be called the night of the election. And, like, there might be Trump might be winning on an election night, and he could use that to justify taking the full dub here.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a very blatant strategy, and like that's why he keeps preparing people for it. He's like on election night, on election night, on election night. He's not explaining why. He's just preparing his followers and his supporters for the night when he calls the election early, and so that way like they're mentally ready to support him in that
Mm.
case, because that's really the only way he can win. Because he knows a lot of the mail-in voting and stuff, it's gonna seal the deal for him. Like he's gonna lose probably, and he's desperate to win. So,
Very desperate.
yeah. And Fritz says there's a reason the Carter Foundation is not allowed to monitor our elections. So true. We need a fucking UN like independent monitor. Not that the UN is worth any fucking thing, but we should at least pretend that our fucking elections are democratic in nature.
It's just so easy to just fuck with shit behind the scenes. I mean, that's how like Andrew Gilliam fucking lost in Florida all those years ago to fucking DeSantis because you know, oopsie, some mail-in votes got lost. Whoops.
It's not only easy, but in many cases it's perfectly legal too, and it's like it's a feature, not a bug. You know, like it's intentional for people to be able to pull these levers of power like that because it's built into the system, and we really need to get rid of that. At least the UN is an outside source. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like the US is, or in the past we were always the first to be like, oh, these elections aren't democratic, and we use that literally as a justification to not only like sanction, but even to invade countries in some cases. But somehow, like the U.S. is not willing to have an independent monitor of their election. Very telling.
True. I mean, like we could even do something like sending these results to like Mexico and Canada. You know, our two neighboring countries, and they could they can both analyze it, and then you're like, well, we both got the same results here. You know.
Yeah, you should stop. You should start a new recording. I want to update my take on something. I've been lately. I've been talking a lot about. I've been talking a lot lately about not voting for Biden and stuff. And personally, I think I still am probably not voting for Biden. And here's my reason behind it. Because in Tennessee, where I live, it's unlikely, not even just unlikely, it's practically impossible for Biden to win this state. The polling, the supporters that he has, it's practically impossible. Tennessee is not a swing state. It's a red state. It always has been, and it always will be, as long as the culture of the U.S. remains as it is now. And so I believe that personally, I don't have an obligation to vote for him. I'm not excited for him. I don't think it's important. However, I want to say recently, one of my most important inspirations in life, and one of the people whose work I've engaged with most as a leftist, made a really great point. Noam Chomsky was talking about how, like, he's been making a lot of comments I disagree with lately. He's been saying, like, Trump is worse than Hitler. Like, Trump is the worst thing ever to happen, things like that. And, like, that really rubbed me the wrong way coming from Chomsky, because I feel like for him to say something like that, it's kind of antithetical to what he taught me. And, the idea that history is not really made by, like, one great man. It's like an overarching culture, you know what I mean? And he taught that to me through the lens of foreign relations, and he taught that to me, through his own experiences and his own studies. But I feel like for him to say that really rubbed me the wrong way. But that's because I was hearing his opinion through secondhand, like I was hearing his opinion through other leftists, and I would like to retract a lot of my things because I think that I wasn't really being fair to him, and I think that other people weren't being fair either. Because in reality, what he was actually saying, and I'm not surprised to hear this either, is basically this: if you live in a swing state, it costs you nothing to just drop a vote for Biden and just be done with it, and just not like, you don't parade it around the streets, you don't use it as part of your identity. You're not a Biden voter. You just vote for Biden because you can, and it's not difficult, and it's a form of harm reduction. And he says that like, people in swing states, what they should do is vote for Biden and that's it, and then just bring to the streets for the problems that we're having, basically, and fight these problems through direct action, just like he's been saying for decades. And I want to say, like, my criticism of him before was because people were leaving out the very important aspect of it, that change is made through direct action. And I think that Chomsky is 100% right about that. And I also think that voting for Biden isn't necessarily a totally negative thing. I think it is a form of harm reduction, especially in swing states where your vote might actually matter, whereas in my state, it doesn't. So I think my new recommendation is this: I don't care who you vote for. You should vote for who you want to vote for. I think that if you live in a swing state, I would say not voting is worse than just voting, regardless of who you vote for, just because your vote matters more. And I would also say that if you want to vote in a non-swing state for like a third party, I think that's totally fine. I think there's nothing morally wrong with that because your person who you're voting for is going to win anyway or going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. And I think that there is something to be said. There is some value in voting for a third party. But I want to say that, like, if you don't vote for Biden, that's totally fine because I'm not fucking voting for him. And I don't think that he deserves your vote. I think that, like, but that I don't think that's what Chomsky was saying. He's not saying he deserves your vote. He's simply saying that if you cast your vote for him, you don't lose anything. And if you stay mad about all the issues you have, then it's really no different than not voting, because he's probably going to win either way. It's important that Trump isn't president anymore to some people, like especially like minorities, immigrants, things like that. It matters to them. And so I don't know. Personally, like I said, I'm not voting. I don't know. What do you think about Chomsky's plan? Like the idea that if you vote for someone just as a throwaway, like I've been using this term, a throwaway vote, like you just vote for them, but you don't actually care. You're just doing it. And then you actually do the things you want to do through direct action. Yep. What do you think about that plan? Do you think that's a good way to minimize harm?
Like, having Trump, as for another 4 years will be so detrimental to so many groups in America. Like they're playing, there was a genuine and honest concern of people who are kids of immigrant parents, right, getting just absolutely fucking thrown out of the country, right? Like that was a genuine concern, with DACA and Dream and stuff like that, right? And I think Trump for another 4 years is just like there's no good coming from it. I think his first presidency has done a lot to radicalize a lot of people, but I think another 4 years isn't gonna do any help. And of course, I live in Florida, so of course I'm gonna be riding with Biden, unfortunately.
Yeah. But and that's the thing is like, Fritz is making a great point too. I think nothing's going to change either way. Dems are screwing us every chance they get. I'm not co-signing that by voting for a rapist. I totally agree, and that's my opinion as well. But here's the thing is like, I think that if you were, for example, I'm not advocating you to do this. I'm just saying, like if you were to vote for him, I don't think that you need to identify with him at all. Like you don't vote for him and go, oh yes, I'm proud to vote for Biden. Like if I were to vote for him, let's say that I vote for him, I'm not even going to tell you. Like I'm going to lie and say I didn't because it doesn't matter. The point is I hate Biden. I don't agree with anything he says. And my vote doesn't matter because if I vote for Trump, I'm voting for a fascist. If I vote for Biden, I'm voting for a neoliberal who's never going to achieve anything. It doesn't, like, functionally my vote doesn't matter. So like to me, if I can minimize harm to someone who I care about, aka like minorities, working people, by voting for Biden, if I can minimize harm by doing that, then I probably would. I'm not because I don't live in a swing state, but even if I did, like I said, I would lie about it because I'm not proud of my vote. And I think like people like David's never going to go out in the streets and be like, yes, Biden is like the person who I identify with. He's simply voting for him because he has no choice. We live in a shit system with two choices. We have one party with two wings, and you have to vote for one of those two. And until we change the system through direct action, voting will never matter. So it's always going to be a form of harm reduction. And I think that was really Chomsky's point. I don't think he did a great job of communicating it because he's like an 87-year-old man. But I think that really was his point. And I think I'm qualified to say that as well because I've engaged with a lot of his work. And that's why I was so surprised to hear him say that. But I think that that's really what he meant in the end.
Yeah, so I'm curious what you think about people who vote like Green Party then.
People who vote Green Party, I think it's totally fine. And I think that like the same rules still apply. Because like when you vote for someone, it is a moral statement. You're saying you agree with them. But I think that the reason for that is because you identify with their platform. So like if you vote for someone who you don't necessarily fully agree with just as a form of harm reduction, but then you don't advocate that other people vote for him, it's almost like you haven't voted. Like, your vote is still there and it still counts. But like, you're not doing a part in normalizing neoliberalism by voting for Biden. You would be doing a part in assisting neoliberalism if you voted for him and then came back and you were like, I'm so proud of my vote, everyone should do what I'm doing. But that's not what you do. We openly criticize Biden. We openly disagree with almost everything of his platform, and we think that his platform will lead to the same harm that Trump's does. It's just less obvious and offensive. And that's why I think Biden's presidency could be dangerous, because it could end up normalizing like neoliberalism, which in my view is just as bad as regular old capitalism. And so like I'm sympathetic to the argument that Biden could even cause more harm. But like, that's why I never advocate people vote for him. And it's like, I don't know, like, I don't think it matters, and he's likely to win either way. So if you vote for him, it doesn't matter. I just think that making it your identity is kind of weird.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people who say like, oh, if you're voting Green Party, like you might as well have voted for Trump. Like, what do you think about that?
That's ridiculous. And like, in a swing state, it's true that voting for a third party is a waste of your vote. It's absolutely true, because you're not making a statement, and like, you're in any state, voting for a third party is a protest vote in this country, because there is no third party will ever win. That's a fact. It's a feature of our system. So voting for a third party is always making a statement. But just because you live in a swing state doesn't mean that making a statement means you automatically, because that frame of reference, you saying like voting for a third party is the same as voting for Trump, automatically assumes that person wasn't going to vote for Trump anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if I was leaning towards Trump, but then I voted third party? It's like, it makes no difference. That's the thing. It's always a protest vote. And it's never a vote for just the random person. They're just saying that because they think that, oh, that'll shame you into voting for Biden. That's such a stupid thing to say. If you want someone to vote for your candidate should have a platform that people can get excited about. Because a lot of people aren't like me and David. They don't make cost benefit analyses about who they vote for, and like, they don't think about it very critically. They're just voting for who they identify most with. And Biden is an old fucking man, and he's out of touch with reality. He has no idea. He hasn't been on the same level as people like you and me for decades.
The first 5 months of his fucking presidency.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's like on the verge of just croaking.
Fritz says Biden's harm is just less overt. There's no reduction in my eyes. I'm like on the fence about that, and like, I think that people like Chomsky kind of are the people who instilled that in me. The idea that like neoliberalism is just as dangerous as fascism. And like, I don't know, I kind of agree, and I think theory tells us to kind of think that as well. And I think the materialist prediction of neoliberalism is the same as fascism. I agree with you, but I'm curious about like the ability to have a revolution. I wonder if it's more likely for a revolution to succeed under neoliberalism, or if it's more likely to succeed under fascism. You know what I mean? Because on one hand, you have the accelerationist argument, where it's, if conditions are bad enough, people are more likely to revolt because they have nothing to lose. But then you have the other side of the argument, which I tend to lean towards, which is when you have resources and capital, you're able to more effectively compete with capital, which I think is also a good argument that's worth looking at. And both have their ups and downs. One, most notably with the accelerationist argument, the down is that life sucks ass for everyone because you live in a fascist hellscape. Whereas at least with neoliberalism, if the revolution never happens, life is a little more comfortable for working people. And so, I mean, it's a cost benefit. It's a utilitarian calculation that you have to make. And I think it's a personal choice for everyone. And I think both sides are legitimate. And it was a little foolish of me to like just dismiss Chomsky's suggestions so wantonly and trust what people said on Twitter, because they were straw manning him, to be completely fair. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I'm a huge fan of Chomsky. And I also wanted to say, like, no matter what David and I or anyone watching this or anyone listening to this ever do for the left, most likely Chomsky has done 1,000 times more than we have. And like, I don't know, it felt weird to criticize him so hard. So I don't know. I just want to like be more fair. I love you, man.
No, for sure. But with that, I'm down to like pause for the second, then start the next recording.
It's so awkward for like the stream viewers.
Yeah, it is. But just to clarify,
we're trying
what they're doing. We're trying this new thing, where we talk about a discussion, and then we stop the recording and then start it again, so it's easier to make videos to post on the YouTube channel for people to consume afterwards. But the next
Fritz
thing
says, "Hey, watch the old guy comments." Sorry, he says, "Watch the old guy comments." Triggered. I'm not saying he's bad because he's old. I'm saying he's been like out of touch for so long, and now he's old, and like he's been living out of touch for so long that he can't even connect with normal people anymore. I love old people. I'm an old person lover. I have like a I wish I was old. You know what I mean?
Really?
No, I mean not really. I'll be old someday. I don't wish I'm old. But
Yeah.
I won't mind it. Being old's fine. I feel like I'm digging my own hole right now.
I mean, like I don't want to be so old where I can't even take care of myself, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like if I need,
I feel like getting old isn't even like a
diapers,
thing.
like
I feel like actually getting old isn't really a thing until you're like 80, because people like to say like, oh, you start slowing down, but that's just because we're so unhealthy in this country that like when you're old, it just automatically means you're disabled. But in reality, like you can be old and healthy as shit until like basically until you drop.
I mean, depends like what job you're working. If you have a hard labor job, like you are actively killing yourself.
Yeah, fair enough.
My dad has like destroyed his fucking body. Like,
that's so fucked up too, because
he can't like lift like heavy weights because of he's a fucking hernia in his like stomach.
Holy shit, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible too, because I feel like with manual labor jobs, it's not like you don't have to fuck up your body. It's just a product.
It's just a product of the work is what I think he was going to finish with. But hopefully he comes back in here soon. Hello.
Back. This break brought to you by Discord.
Yes.
That loves to crash.
Always. Yeah, it might be your computer.
Anyway,
because it's
like I was saying, yeah, if you're wealthy, you can not break your body by doing blue collar work. Yeah.
But I want to talk about if you've been hoping for getting a stimulus check anytime soon, kiss those chances goodbye, because we are not gonna get one until possibly next February. So if your kids are starving, you've been really hungry, can't pay rent, can't afford to fix your car, well, you're shit out of luck. Because
should have had a better job.
There's no stimulus check coming anytime soon.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
And like I said last week, this is a staple of this podcast. I would like to add one more check to the mark of Republicans are stupid as fuck and don't realize that giving people money would win them the election. Yes. Yet another week, David. Thank you for joining me on this lovely week.
Bro, if fucking back in, what was it, February of this year, when we got our first stimulus check, dude, so many people thought it was like, okay, like we're going to get a stimulus check every month. Like this is going to be like the new normal. Dude, if Americans got a $1,200 check every fucking month, bro, Trump would have easily have taken this next election. Oh my God. Easily.
I probably would have voted for him. I mean, because that's the thing is like on a scale of like things that presidents or just the government in general has done. Like if Trump were to sign that bill that gave everyone $1,200, he would have instantly been the most useful president in American history, literally. Because like in a time of tragedy, he actually did something. But he just decided not to.
Like $1,200 would mean so much, so many things to Americans right now.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of like, it's basically like paying for the fucking vote. It's like, bro, let me give you money, just vote for me, and then it'll keep on happening. Yeah. It's so easy. But
you don't even have to consider the morality of like the fact that 40% of renters are facing eviction or have already been evicted in the past 6 months. Even just the morality of that, don't even look at it. And it's still a good idea because you win politically you win. Yeah. Fred says, I won't get one anyway. Yeah, I almost didn't get one too, but then I ended up getting one through the school finally, just randomly because they passed the CARES Act, which gave a $1,200 check to students. I think David got one though, right?
Yeah, I got a stimulus check back when it happened. Thankfully, because I did my taxes I claimed a dependent.
Yeah. Lucky, man. Yeah. I was so pissed when I didn't get that. The idea that they didn't include dependent students, like people who are living on their own but still filing taxes with their parents, absolutely fucking shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the fact that like Nancy Pelosi, like, I don't know, they keep talking about negotiating the bill and stuff,
Mm.
but they're not trying hard enough. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I want to take like unpopular opinion here. I don't think
Okay.
anyone really like. So basically, like with the Pelosi and the stimulus bill negotiations, right? They've been fucking trying to get like despite not having a fucking stimulus check in the in the past 8 months, Pelosi and the Democratic Party, like they still been trying to get this shit in. It's the Republican Party, it's the Senate stopping these negotiations from happening. And then finally, when Trump, is like begging, it's like, please, just the money, man. I'll do the stimulus check no matter what. Like, the thing is, like, they want to propose, like, what was it? I think a $1.8 trillion stimulus bill, right?
Right.
But
yeah.
like
the Democrats.
no, like the Republicans, right? This is very low. Like they want to give more shit to corporations than they do to the people. And
Right, yeah.
And there's also a game of politics going on, right? The thing is like if Pelosi keeps on like saying like no, right? It's always gonna be bad for Trump. So like we were saying earlier, right? Giving a stimulus check to people will be the easiest way to get fucking more points, getting more points up, and like maybe securing a dub in the presidency, right? It's like they don't want Trump to win again, the Democratic Party, right? At least that's what we think that they don't want to happen.
Right.
And it sucks. Of course, like people are saying, like this is like the blame shouldn't be towards the Democratic Party, Pelosi, right? We should be blaming the Republicans as to why they're not allowing this bill to fucking go through. Like people are saying, like saying like fucking Pelosi fucking sucks. Like Pelosi, you're so out of touch. Like there's millions of fucking babies fucking starving, right? There's fucking people starving, people who need this check. But I think it's like, Pelosi, she wants to get more for the people. It's the Republicans who are fucking us over. And I think people are shifting the blame to the wrong person here.
I think that's fair. And I think that you're definitely making a good point, because if Pelosi concedes to the Republicans too, like that'll be the new ground level of what that'll be where the negotiations start from next time as well. So like if they accept an absolutely shit deal, it may be that next time the deal's even worse, and the Republicans can use that as justification. And then the Democrats will look even worse, because people will be like, oh, they accepted it once, why can't they do it again? And it'll make them look even worse. And I guess in some ways I'm empathetic to that. I think that in general the Democrats don't fight hard enough for working people, but maybe in this case I think you actually do have a really good point there.
Either like they care about working class, or like they just trying to play a political game where they know it's bad if a stimulus bill doesn't go out. But either way, like the blame's being put on the wrong. Like for the last 8 months, it's the Republicans' fault. Like nothing's fucking happened.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that if I had a magic wand, I would replace all the Democrats in an instant. But like I think that you're actually right in this case. I think it's kind of silly to blame them for this. I think like you can blame them for normalizing a culture where this is allowed, I guess. But in this particular case, the Republicans are blatantly stopping the stimulus from getting to the regular people. They just want to give it to corporations.
Yeah, they just want to give weird. the biggest part of the bill, to corporations. Which is weird because like there was like supposed to be like a heroes pay. Did you ever get any of that?
Nope. I ended up getting laid off, aka I quit right before that.
So like this heroes thing, I don't know if that ever like happened, but like I never seen any of this heroes pay for fucking literally going outside and risking my life just for fucking a couple fucking dollars.
Yeah, the Kroger union at the place I used to work, they fought for the $2 an hour hero raise for people who worked at Kroger. And then after, like, I think a few months, they got rid of it. Like, they took it away, even though the virus is more, like, there's more cases than ever right now. And the people working there aren't getting hero pay anymore. I mean, they really did nothing for any of the workers, like any of the essential workers, even though they aren't even essential. Like, this country could have closed down all of its restaurants and just done a rent cancellation where all the owners who own the restaurants don't have to pay rent, and like that would have solved the issue.
That's not profitable.
I understand,
how are they supposed to make money, Caleb?
In the long run, it does make money, because all of these restaurants are closing. Like 50% of restaurants are projected to be closed by like next year, I think. So that's half of all restaurants could close in the next year.
Yep, you're gonna see a lot more chains of those big corporation restaurants
because
popping
those
around.
corporations received the stimulus as well, and like a lot of the smaller places weren't able to get it, or even if they did get it, it's like they never got another one, and their expenses are too much. They can't afford it, and they end up closing anyway, and then they owe the government money at the end
So
too, because it's a loan.
That like, you know, there's so many millions of Americans just absolutely struggling, but you know, companies, you know, they're seeing record profits, fucking, you know, again those fat bonuses, you know, they're doing fucking well.
Yeah, and I can actually comment too on some
horribly.
Like overseas economics things. Like Japan is facing a very similar thing right now, where like the stock market in Japan is at an all-time high. They're doing great, and you know, Abe Shinzo recently retired, the previous prime minister, and the new guy Suga is like, he's like, yeah, stocks are doing great, but unemployment is rising, like wages are falling, people are almost like 60% of people who live in Japan are on some form of government rent assistance right now, which is an unprecedented number. And it's such a great example of why the stock market does not equal a good life for like average people. Like stocks could be at an all-time high, the Nasdaq could be shattering records on a daily basis, and you still have all-time high homelessness or impoverished people. It's such a great example of that. I think Fritz says, I think I read 60% of small restaurants will be gone by 2022, even if they open fully today. Yeah, that's a staggering statistic. I think I've seen something similar as well. And I mean, it's because these markets, these firms are working on a month-to-month basis, basically. They're covering their expenses and barely, with almost no real profit. Like their economic profit every month is zero practically. And in the long run, they make money, but it's a very slow process, and any fluctuation on demand or supply will basically close any restaurant. It's ridiculous.
I mean, even before the pandemic, like very few businesses survive like the first year of starting.
And restaurants are like the worst out of all businesses as well. Like restaurants, I think have the lowest percentage survival rate.
And
after
it's crazy
a year
because they don't even pay their
firm.
like their fucking servers or the busboys like even a real wage. Like those people, they live off the tips given by the customers of that place. Like when I was working at the casino, my servers, I was a busboy, and the servers I was working for, they were only getting paid $3 an hour. So if it was a slow night, they were like coming home with like less than $100.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. And people, there's so many people that justify it too. There was a big debate in the UK for tipped workers, like for tips to basically they're running a campaign called Save Our Tips, basically, and it was a lobbying group that was for restaurants because they don't want to pay their workers more. And they frame it like, oh, getting tips is so nice, it gives you financial freedom, you take cash home that night. And like they actually managed to convince a lot of people, a lot of workers who work at restaurants, that like they'll make less money if the government makes restaurants pay them a fair wage. And it's like a total bullshit.
I mean, it's fucked
farce.
because yeah, some servers might get more money, but yeah, it's also realize like you know, if you're a fucking like minority, or if you live in a fucking racist state like I do, like if you're a fucking black server, you're probably not gonna get as much as the
exactly
as a white female server.
Exactly. And should we even be like rewarding people based on that ridiculous fucking standard as well? Because yeah, like a young white girl with big tits is gonna get way more tips than just a regular dude.
No,
like,
it's actually fucked though, because at the place I was working, like it was literally an investment to get like your ass done, or like you're like getting a tit job. Like it was a legitimate investment to get these things done, because
fucked up.
You know, you would get more tips.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. Literally, like it normalizes like abuse for women, especially too. Like you have restaurants like fucking like Hooters and Tilted Kilt or shit like that. Like literally restaurants that thrive on the idea that like sexy women servers will like increase the fucking willingness to pay. Like people pay $20 for 10 wings at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings so that they can abuse women and like catcall them at a restaurant. It's weird as fuck that it has been normalized like that. Fritz says the boobs thing was proven by Mythbusters. I actually didn't know that, but that's really funny. I want to watch that fucking episode. Dude, Mythbusters, I missed that shit. What even happened to them? Dude, that one guy fucking died, right? Grant Imahara or whatever. He had like a brain aneurysm.
Oh, yeah,
How fucked is that, man?
Damn.
Literally. Holy shit. That guy's brain exploded because he was so smart and cool. That's so fucked,
He just obtained too much knowledge.
Yeah.
He probably busted like a myth and it probably ended his life,
Yeah.
Or maybe
I mean, at least
it was true. And
at least he died doing what he loved,
this knowledge. Forbidden knowledge. Damn.
Forbidden fucking knowledge. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but I'm just joking. I like that guy. Anyway,
we're talking about stimulus.
Stimulus, yeah. I don't know.
You have anything else to say about the stimulus talk?
No, I think you made a really good point about the Pelosi thing. I think that was a very pertinent point. Fritz says I loved Grant. Yeah, I know it's really sad. But I think some of the Mythbusters guys still do stuff like online content, even though the show's canceled. Adam Savage. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He's kind of arrogant, I find, but I mean, he's fun to watch anyway. But yeah, I think I'm good on that topic.
Okay. Take a 3-second pause. Yes. And the next thing that we have on the list here, Ice Cube, Caleb. Ice Cube. He's defending Trump's plan for Black Americans, the Platinum Plan. Trump's always saying like, I have done more for Black Americans than any president ever. What do you think about those claims?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to just ask what? Like, that's the thing when Trump says things is, in reality, like, a lot of liberals don't know this either. In reality, like, Trump hasn't done a lot. Like, the most that he's done historical damage to the judicial branch of the government. But as far as, like, legislate, I mean, what has he done that you disagree with? Like, he normalizes a lot of things. I agree with that. But, like, he himself has not really done much.
He hasn't done
because
fucking
he's a
anything.
do-nothing
And
president.
It's crazy. Like, he's talking, like, when he goes to rallies, one of those things, like, and we're taking them out of Afghanistan, we're taking them out of the Middle East because we don't need them anymore. Like, we've been taking it a little by little, but next presidency, we're gonna pull them out. But the thing is, like, bro, you had 4 years to pull them out. What the fuck?
It's literally the same thing that Obama said, literally. And then and Obama ended up fucking increasing the amount. It's funny, like both presidents do that. That's crazy. But yeah, Trump is funny because like he just says things. He just says things that he thinks he has done, but he hasn't.
80% of the shit Trump says, most of the time, he's just fucking lying, and it's crazy because there's so many like people who just take what Trump says at face value, doesn't even bother to like making sure what the fuck he just said was even true, and it's crazy. Yeah. Like I didn't know the other day I was talking to someone and they honest to God thought Antifa was a real fucking organization.
Yeah, you talked about this on the pod.
Yeah, I might have talked about it last episode, and I that's crazy to believe that people even think that.
That's because they hear the president say
They hear the president say it's like, must be true. Anyway, time to go play some Minecraft.
Anyway, time to go play Farmville. But yeah, but one person who isn't taking Trump shits, Ice Cube, the rapper. He basically like what the controversy. I kind of like have empathy for him because like what happened is he originally like he's offering to work with Donald Trump on the front of like race relations with black people basically, and people gave him a lot of shit for it because he's anti-Trump and he has been, and people are like, why would you say this? Why would you work with him? He hates black people. He'll never do anything good for black people, whatever, which is probably true. But then Ice Cube defends his comments by saying basically like, well, we have to do something, and if we don't offer to do it, it'll never happen. So like he's basically saying like it's true he's a bum piece of shit and he'll probably never do anything for us, but if I don't offer to help him do it, then we'll never even know. And I totally agree with that. I think it's really dumb that he's getting so much hate for what he said. And like, especially because he's so openly critical of Trump anyway. Like he made a song. What was it in 2018? Like a song called what? Arrest the President?
Yeah, Arrest the President or something like that.
Yeah. He's openly anti-Trump and like, it's obvious what he was saying. He's not saying like, not like Kanye. You know what I mean? Like Kanye's thing, he deserved the hate that he got for that. But Ice Cube's thing is totally different. It's not even remotely the same. And yeah, I think all my homies love Ice Cube. I mean, he's the original like anti-authority.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, in terms of like black culture, like he really started that. Like black people, not that he started that, but he translated that idea to white people, because like black people had always faced that like anti-authority, anti-police shit, but like NWA like translated that to a white audience and really like gave a voice to the story that so many black people were already aware of.
It.
Yeah, exactly. And I think to imply that he doesn't like, to imply that he like loves authority and wants to work with Trump, and like it's such a stupid thing to say. It's really stupid. I don't know. But
he's a very centrist. He's willing to work with the right. He's willing to cross the aisle.
Yeah.
Most
of the people screaming are neolibs. Yeah, exactly.
I just thought it was interesting because I thought Ice Cube was like very anti-Trump. So when I saw this article, I was very confused that he's willing to work with Trump. But
right.
But hey, I mean, if it does good, I mean, maybe he knows.
If it does good, it does good, and if it does nothing, then that's just what we expect.
Nothing. As long as it doesn't make things worse.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But talking about black Trump supporters, I'm sure you've seen this Southwest Airlines clip of a black Trump supporter supposedly getting kicked off for being black.
I very much enjoyed
Trump.
It, actually.
So to give some context to this stream here, I want to show the clip on stream. 1 second here, pull up the fucking clip. Here. So, see here.
Sorry, we're still new to this whole podcasting thing, guys.
I mean, I don't know anything.
Out to eat with our masks off? Is that what you're saying?
Jamie, pull that shit up. Sorry, we're still new to this whole podcasting thing.
For what though? I complied. I put it on after they asked me to.
Isn't it procedure? Isn't it policy that he can take off his mask? No, I'm sorry. I'm his legal counsel. Is it not your policy that he can take off his mask?
I'm wearing the mask. I'm just eating.
We're not talking about taking the mask off. We're talking about creating an environment.
For what though? I put on the mask.
We'll discuss that in the gym.
What am I gonna do then?
Field coordinator, we're gonna have a uplift on 35. We need treatment at 35.
You have to be somewhere that like literally tomorrow.
But the thing about it is, right now, you're not going on this airplane. The crew has denied you boarding.
I love it when Trump supporters get confronted because they always look so surprised.
So you're just going on hearsay and violating Southwest policy,
Me?
then,
Really?
right?
What am I supposed to do then?
I'm on out in the gym. Wait, we'll talk about it.
But anyway, that's like the gist of the clip. I'm not gonna show the fucking rest of it. It's basically the same shit, getting repeated. But basically this, and they're thinking.
Oh god. Please
like,
pull up the comments.
We'll look at some of the comics there.
Yeah.
He's only get kicked off because he's black and he likes Trump, and apparently that's enough for him to get kicked off the plane. Look at the bias.
Yeah.
You see there's
Literally.
so many people mauling here in the
Yeah. Sounds like a possible
there.
lawsuit. How? It's private property. They can. This crew doesn't want you on the flight. This is like Nazi Germany.
I mean,
Nazi fucking Germany. So sad how many people aren't standing up for freedom. And the left calls the right fascists.
Yeah.
This is unconstitutional. I'm so dead, dude. That's hilarious.
It's just so fucking dumb. But, let us tell you the real reason as to why this person getting kicked off the plane. He's getting kicked off the plane because this dude was not wearing a mask. Like, in a closed, open space. It's not because he was just fucking eating some peanuts and is a Trump supporter. He's not fucking wearing a mask.
In a hermetically sealed plane fuselage where he's just bioterrorizing everyone inside. He's like, me?
Like, what happened was, like, this guy, like, wasn't wearing a mask, and then he pulled out peanuts just to justify it.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of people on this. I honestly think this is a fucking plan, bro. Like, this
I'm pretty sure it was
a staged shit, and this person's here just to fucking just talk shit, bro. Like,
exactly. Like, he
probably
probably saw, like, the things say like, please only remove your mask when you're eating or drinking and try to keep it on at all times. And then so he was like, okay, I'm just gonna always be eating then, like, because he's a piece of shit fucking asshole. And he's like, but look at your rules here, like I can be eating without a mask. And it's like, okay, fuck you, you're an asshole, get off the plane. Like it, and the idea that it's unconstitutional is so funny to me. They're free to eject anyone they fucking want, regardless, as long as it's not like a protected status. But he's not getting ejected because he's black. He's getting ejected because he's a piece of shit asshole.
Yeah, it's so
Like-
weird that people don't understand that businesses can decide, decline fucking service.
For any reason whatsoever, as long as it's not on the basis of a protected class status. And unfortunately, protected class status is like really hard to come by. So you can be discriminated for, even for things that you probably shouldn't be able to be discriminated for, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's not illegal.
I don't know, but people don't get that. They're like, you're denying me service because you won't allow me to commit bioterrorism? What is this bullshit? And they get so fucking upset.
Dude, I want to make a short Netflix series about someone who has a fetish for spreading diseases in COVID-19, like just walking around, just like walking into plane fuselages and like gassing, and they pretend to be Trump supporters because, like, you know, they're able to like they love Trump supporters because, and then that's how they become alt-right, because they're fucking super spreader fetishists.
They just love spreading the bug, man. So fucking weird.
It is really weird.
I saw this video. I was like, just fucking so like, God, this is such a staged event.
Yeah. Speaking of like spreading the disease and like anxiety about the disease, I managed to meet up with my mom for the first time since last Christmas, yesterday, and it was nice. I was extremely anxious. Like my heart was basically racing the whole time. It's the first time I've left the house like to see another human since January.
And if you guys didn't know, Caleb's entire fuking clan contracted the coronavirus.
They all got COVID like a while ago.
His entire fucking clan.
Yeah, and luckily I wasn't there, and I haven't visited them or anything, so I was safe. But I finally got to see my mom. We went to a restaurant and we ate outside, and like it was just awkward. Like I just felt so uncomfortable every time I got close to someone. I had barbecue. It was really good actually, but every time I got close to someone, I was like, whoa, relax, partner, back up.
Chill,
yeah, and like people were wearing their masks, and like the restaurant that we went to, they were following, like they were good. I felt safe in there, but like anytime I walked past someone, I was just like, fuck, man, give me my bubble here, bro.
It's like whoa,
yeah.
chill.
And my mom wanted to hug me, and I was like, God.
Bump your
I mean,
elbow.
she like my mom's totally cool, not to imply that, but like I really wanted to hug her too, but it's like, I don't know. I just can't. So like we had to do the whole elbow thing, which like sucked. Cause I haven't seen my mom in like a year almost. So like, you know, there's nothing more you want to do than just like hug your mom and say hi and stuff. But at least I got to see her, and I also got to see my brother, which is awesome. And
go ahead and show the merch you got, bro. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. My brother got me a prop for the podcast. They went to Gatlinburg, okay, which is East Tennessee. And apparently, like, Gatlinburg is known for being like it's like a place that old people who live in Tennessee go to retire after they like make a ton of money like in their retirement account. They go and buy like a log cabin or whatever in there, or rent a condo or whatever. It's a really nice place and it's great. But apparently, they have a bunch of new stores there that are just like Trump merchandise stores. So my brother got me one of the fucking Trump hats, and it's actually so great because this is not official Trump merch or anything. This is just fan merch, and I love it because it's fucking. If you look on this tag right here,
made in China. That is so fucking funny.
So it's funny. David and I are thinking about
so
doing
funny.
a skit for the fucking podcast where we, you know, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm gonna be a Trump boy. It's gonna be great.
It'll be fucking funny. We haven't done a skit in a while. If you watched our previous episodes, we've done a couple skits. Always fucking banger. But maybe one soon. We just had to like it doesn't really go with the live format as much. We have to like pre-record it and, you know, make sure it's done well. But who knows? Maybe soon.
Maybe soon indeed. What is next here on the agenda, David?
Yeah, but let me 3-second break.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, but the next thing I want to talk about is so as you know, there was a protest in Colorado, and a Trump supporter got fucking clapped. But
This is a big one.
and in the first couple days, everyone was like, especially on the fucking right, were like, fucking Antifa, they killed one of our boys. We need to fucking get vengeance. That might sound a little familiar, but no, it wasn't an Antifa activist. It wasn't an Antifa protester. It was a fucking Pinkerton. They were protecting some news reporter. Right, because Trump supporters for some reason just love threatening people with fucking bear mace, and they expect not to get fucking clapped by by someone when they're fucking trying to fucking spray them with it. But yes, but the fuck thing is even after figuring out that this guy was not Antifa, he was nowhere associated, and bro, they went to lengths to tie this guy to Antifa. They were looking at his tattoo he had at his arm. They were cross-referencing fucking images, and they found one fucking leftist group in Europe who uses the invader thing as a fucking leftist symbol. This oddball shit, but he probably just liked Space Invader.
Just weird connections that only fucking weirdos can make,
But even still, figuring out this guy is not even connected to Antifa. They're anybody who kills a fucking Trump supporter, anyone who kills on the right, is Antifa no matter what. So I know some, hopefully fucking no one listening to this fucking dies because or ever has to fucking kill someone to protect themselves against the alt-right. But even if you just are trying to protect yourself, they will label you as Antifa, and they will fucking assassinate you. I mean, let's just be real with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. We talked about this guy right when it happened, because he was killed. I mean, there was a video, there was a police story with a weird video, but you don't actually see him getting killed or whatever. And we talked about it a little bit, and we talked about the story from the cops' point of view. And I remember saying on the podcast, according to the story, I'm not surprised that he got shot.
Oh, we're talking about a different guy. Are you talking about the guy in Portland?
No, I'm talking about the guy who he got cornered and they shot him 30 fucking times.
Oh, that was the guy from Portland.
No, wait, really?
Yeah, this Colorado was a whole different thing where a Pinkerton fucking killed someone. But the whole thing about that was despite not even being related to Antifa, this guy is still being saying that this guy's an Antifa member. This guy needs to get fucking clapped, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
But this, what Caleb was talking about.
So wait, did this guy get killed or what?
No, but I mean,
so he's still living, but he's just trying to put a fucking hit out on this guy.
Yeah, they're saying this guy's Antifa anyway. He has to be Antifa if he kills one of our boys, and it's so funny. It's so are you saying you were a fascist?
That's fucking wild. Okay. Yeah, dude, that's crazy because you're so right because they never want to say, even liberals do this. They never want to say that it's a conflict where there's two sides because then they have to identify with one side and that's bad or whatever. So they always deny it, which is funny. But then when one of them dies, it's suddenly they're best buds. You know what I mean? They're really good allies with each other.
Yeah, but what Caleb is talking about is what happened in Portland, right? So what happened in Portland? This I forgot his name. Was it Ryan Skull?
Michael.
Michael, yes.
Yeah, Michael something.
He was protecting his friend. Apparently, his friend was gonna get fucking stabbed by some Trump supporter, and in his fucking self-defense, right? We have the right to bear arms. We have the right to fucking protect ourselves, right? But when it comes to a leftist doing that, though, that's a no. You can only you have to be fucking white conservative to be able to use this claim. But of course, he's just protecting his fucking friend, and this guy was worried for his life, that he's gonna get killed by the Proud Boys and by these cops hunting him down, and that's exactly what fucking happened. And recently Trump's even bragging about it, saying yeah, we fucking got him. It was over in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's so fucked, man. Because I don't know, dude. It's very much a retaliation, a very retaliatory kill. they hear that this guy's involved in they don't even really know. Like, he was just allegedly involved. I'm pretty sure he actually was involved because he like ended up confessing or whatever. But
Yeah, he
regardless,
literally like spoke to Vice or something like that. Like
yeah,
afterwards, like, yeah, I did it. I was the one who did it, and
yeah,
like
because he was like turning
here's
himself in
why
or
he
something.
like I don't. He was like talking about like I don't want the news to like get it wrong, and like this is what
Yeah.
happened, and like this is why I did it, and then
Right.
fucking got death by cop. He got fucking murdered.
Yeah, and like, but the cops. The important thing is like the cops didn't know at the time. Like, they just killed him anyway. They didn't know the situation. They didn't know any of the details. They just decided like, oh, he was involved. Okay, well, he's dead now. Like, we shoot this guy. Like, if they're very defensive of their own people, and the cops align with the right wing people, you know. So they'll just kill you, and then they'll besmirch your name too. Like I was trying to say before, when I accidentally confused the cases, like when the news first came out on this shooting, they made it seem like the guy was reaching for a gun and like he's an immediate threat. But then it comes out that the guy is actually just like, he's armed, but they knew that, and he didn't have the gun out or anything, and they shot him in the. He was fleeing, and they shot him in the back like 30 times.
Like, rightly so. Like,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
These people are like, he's fearing for his life even before like he fucking like had to use his gun to protect his friend. He like was fearful for his life constantly, thinking that the Proud Boys were after him and that like he was gonna get fucking killed by these people. So of course he's gonna fucking run away. And now it's coming out that like the cops didn't even announce themselves and made no attempt to arrest him, and just immediately just fucking started gunning this guy down. Like, so I think what happened was he was like getting in his car, and then like the cops shot him in his car, and then he was trying to run. He got out of his car and tried running away, and fucking bop bop bop. Fucking killed him right there.
Dude, so many people trying to justify it too, like, oh, he was involved in a shooting. They don't know what he's gonna do.
It's like, who
Fleeing
cares?
is not a crime, dude. Fleeing is not a crime. Like, when you're hopped up on fucking adrenaline, people with guns are chasing after you. Like, fleeing is the thing that makes fucking sense in that moment. And that's not a crime. I don't know, dude. I don't want to
live. Especially if they shoot at you right away. Like,
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna just stand there and analyze the situation? It's like,
yeah,
well, are these cops shooting at me? Let me get a good look here. Who's trying to fucking murder my ass? No one's gonna fucking do that.
Exactly. That's absurd. And the police know that. That's why they normalize this culture of like, shoot first, ask questions later, because a dead person can't defend themselves. Like, this guy, like, who even knows what's going through his fucking mind in his last moments? Like, what a terrifying and awful thing to go through. And just to have the cops just besmirch you after the fact, and you can't even say anything back. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they like, after they fucking murder your ass, they like fucking, you have all these fucking detectives online like combing through this guy's fucking life, trying to find any reason to justify this killing.
He got a fucking parking ticket in 2005, or like a fucking public indecency in 2010 or whatever. Like, oh, like that's gonna be used to just ruin your fucking, like, your entire image after you're dead. And yeah, I don't know. Like, and I don't know. People are very uncomfortable with the idea too. Is like, I don't know. Is it wrong to defend yourself like that against the police? You know what I mean? It's very much a self-defense scenario. I don't know. Like, I don't want to advocate like, oh, shoot back. But like, what are you fucking supposed to do? Like, if you're that guy in that moment, you have not many more choices if you don't want to fucking die than to just shoot back, or I don't know, try to get away.
Just get away.
He did,
but,
and he failed.
There was multiple fucking agents out there waiting to cap his ass.
Exactly. Like, he's literally getting ambushed, basically. Like, I don't know. I guess you just have to roll like 20 deep. You can't go by yourself. You just have to be ready to fucking. You have to have like your own group of people so you can fight back. It's very dangerous to be by yourself because the cops love that shit, because then no one can defend you. Because if you're alone, the cops get to dictate everything. They get to say what happened. They get to explain the situation. They get to describe everything, and everyone's going to believe it. But if you have like all your friends there and there's a whole crowd of people, it gets harder. I mean, look at the George Floyd incident. If that happened in a dark alleyway and it was just those 4 cops, none of that would have ever happened. No one would have even known the story.
So convenient that these marshals don't have to wear body cams. Because, this body cam footage would be so useful here to see what actually fucking happened, instead of just taking the word of the person who fucking absolutely just assassinated this man. Literally, Trump, like, called in this fucking hit.
And, like, for normal people, cops have a positive bias, but it should be the opposite. Like, you should automatically distrust police. But in reality, it's the total opposite for most people. Like if they hear a story from a police officer, they're more likely to believe that than just a random person,
Yep.
even though a random person has no reason to lie, and a police officer very much does. So it's difficult.
Yep.
Fritz says, yeah, Fritz says Portland cops have declared war. We need to be shooting back and throwing Molotovs in Minecraft. There's only one agency that's allowed to shoot in the back, and that's corrections office in the case of an escape. There are unconfirmed reports of one DHS agent saying this is war. I'm 30 years ex-Leo, and everything you're saying is accurate. Well, I appreciate your perspective, man. That's crazy. Unconfirmed report of one DHS saying this is war. That does not surprise me at all. There's very much a culture of that.
Fucking LARPy. Yeah,
I
don't know why, but people on the right, they're like, there's a civil war coming.
Yeah, it's very
There's
much like an us
war.
versus them culture, and like very otherizing of different groups. Like with DHS, like before all of this shit, it used to be fucking immigrants. Like there are literally, we've talked about this on the show, there are people that go to the border, or not even involved in law enforcement or anything, that just go to LARP as like a Nazi fucking agents who go and just like shoot at people who are trying to illegally cross the border. Or even just people who are just nearby, like just brown people that are happening to be there. Like they'll just shoot at them because they think they're a fucking Punisher. And I feel like that culture exists within law enforcement. I don't even think that's a thing that's outside law enforcement.
You have
to
be
and I think
a different type of person to want to become a police officer, bro. And
yeah, exactly. Like knowing what we know now,
yeah.
The people who are police officers at this point, they're either stuck there for like financial reasons, which I can empathize with, or they're complicit in it, you know. And like it's difficult to distinguish between those, which is kind of why it's like hard to go to bat for any police officer. Like it's hard to know, you know, are they just doing it because they want to or because they have to? It's hard to say.
Yep. And like these people fail to realize that like you know, they're like, oh, it's an ideology thing, but like, you know, there's not gonna be a civil war because of fucking like, you know, obviously it's going to be civil war. Like, I don't think there's going to be like a civil war, right? You know, it's the people who are like the working class. Like, it's a class issue. Like, it's supposed to be the working class against the fucking bourgeois, right? But you know, they're able to like fucking twist the narrative here. And,
exactly. That's the key.
Fight against each other.
Exactly. That's so important. You're making a great point because like it is an issue of class, and in reality, tensions are bubbling up. And the breaking point should be between the haves and the have-nots. But the right wing have a very important vested interest in making sure that the breaking point is between two other groups, because then they're fighting each other rather than banding together and fighting them. And the way they do that is through things like race. Through things like, I mean, race is the biggest one in the US, but other countries have other things as well. Religion is one. Like there's just the way that you live your life, the groups that you identify with, they cast them as others. And in the US, race is by far the biggest one because of our history with like, slavery and everything.
It all, it's like race, wealth, fucking religion. It's all of it.
Exactly. We have everything, and unfortunately black people get the worst of it, but that's not to say that other groups don't have it bad as well. And I really I see no short-term way out of that because it's a cultural thing. It's a hegemonic idea that has been beat into Americans to where even without the government, if the government dissolved tomorrow, that culture wouldn't go away. And it's something that we have to solve outside of government. It's really difficult. Fritz says, a buddy of mine is still a cop and he's just laying low, agreeing with us privately, but waiting out his retirement. I, for one, believe 100% that civil war is coming and it's not far away. I am so empathetic to that top one too, because with the way that police work as well, it's like if you've been working there for like 10 years or 15 years or whatever, and you're 1 week away from retirement, it's like, do you really go out on a limb to defend your morality? Exactly. I remember one specific thing. There was a woman police officer. I think she was even a woman of color police officer who like stopped her superior from doing a chokehold because they had been banned. And she got fired like 1 week away from receiving pension. I think I remember seeing a story like that. So it's totally true. Like police officers will go against you if you don't uphold that culture of violence and subjugation. And as for your second comment, I think like a civil war in the streets, I don't think that that's very likely. I think like to imagine having a civil war like we did back in our first civil war, I think is unlikely. But as far as like random stochastic events where there are battles, so to speak, of like left and right wing people clashing, I could definitely see that.
Mm.
I mean, the landscape of warfare has really changed, so it's hard for me to predict what a war would look like in this country. But I mean, I could definitely see some violent events happening.
I think that
Your
we
friend
are
retires
blessed.
in June. Well, I hope you stay safe until then, man.
I think we are blessed, though, being the generation that might see the fall of the United States.
I don't know, man. I think that I want to be like positive and say that for sure, but
yeah,
we'll see, man. It's just it's so hard to imagine a world where that happens, you know.
Yeah, but hey, people are getting radicalized, so I mean,
for sure.
As long as we can spread that message, keep on going. Another 36 more episodes. Maybe we might be there.
Yeah, you remember that guy? You remember that guy that? Who was that? Was it Destiny that debated that guy who was like really in favor of child porn or whatever because like he was a pedophile or he wanted to like do away with the age of consent?
I don't know.
Almost Yi. You ever heard that name?
Yes, but before we get
that guy
into
got arrested.
Before we get into that, 3 seconds.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Boom, back on it. Yes.
I don't think this is gonna be a long conversation.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah, dude, that guy Almost Yi who like fucking goes to bat for pedophiles all the time got arrested for fucking for having child porn. I thought that was funny.
Like how, like like how do you get caught by those people? It's like you have to like be blatant, right? Like as fuck and like get caught by like
I think he was having a relationship with like a 14-year-old girl. And then they broke up, and the girl went to like the FBI after and ratted on him.
Good.
Like if you're a pedophile, okay, look, I almost so many pedophiles with you.
Like there's millions of them out there, and
for
like
sure.
the people who get caught are the most blatant, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there's fucking millions of them lurking in the shadows, like knowing how to like not get caught. But like the most dumb ones get caught.
If you're a pedophile, I can almost even like empathize with you and be like, yeah, bro, that sucks that you're attracted to kids or whatever. But like, you're having a full-on relationship with a 14-year-old girl and like openly advocating for like pedophilic relationships. It's like, what is going on in your mind, my friend?
It's crazy because like, we have people like Sargon of Akkad defending these people.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like even like the right has no fucking morals. Like they have zero fucking morals. Like if you're right wing, like they will bat for you no matter what.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very like it's the same with the cop shit. It's like they defend each other for some reason, but even when they have nothing to gain, like even when the person that they're defending is just blatantly wrong, they still feel the need to overly defend them for some reason. I never understood that. With the Almost Yi thing, it's even an interesting like he fucks it up because it's an interesting conversation about pedophiles, but then you realize that the kid I don't even know if he's a kid, but the guy's like a Nazi, basically. He's like a Nazi that wants to take advantage of children. He's not even trying to have an intellectual debate about like, oh, what if we discuss the idea that pedophilia is like a sexual preference that we need to like actually deal with. It's like, that's actually an interesting conversation I feel like you can have. But he doesn't want to have that conversation. He just wants to fuck children. You know what I mean?
He just wants to be a fucking Nazi fucking children.
Yeah, exactly. Only relationship I want with a 14-year-old girl is an adopted daughter. Dude, I've been thinking I want to have kids someday, of course. Or not of course, but I do.
Of course.
And I was thinking, what if you just adopt and like skip the hardest steps, like skip the part where they like shit themselves all the time and cry 24/7 and just it's like buying a World of Warcraft character boost, like you get to the in-game content right away. I think that would be pretty cool.
Adopting?
I'm just saying, adopting like post like a while after. It's weird to segue into a story about adopting a kid right after talking about child porn and raping kids, but I was just thinking about it the other day. So I think I'm gonna skip all the hard stages when I adopt my kids. Really? Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a noble cause. There's a lot of kids out there with no parents.
Exactly.
In these adoption homes, just waiting to be
adopt.
Adopted.
Don't shop.
Yeah, for real.
Indeed.
Don't make. Stop breeding.
Yeah, I was just talking in chat about how I don't think breeding is a fetish. It's not a fetish because like a fetish is something that's different. Like if someone has a fetish for feet, right? It's like, you're attracted to feet, and that's it's a fetish because feet aren't normally sexual, But like breeding is not a fetish because that's the ultimate goal of any sex, right? Biologically speaking.
No. Oh, Caleb's gone here. Oh, you're back. Okay,
What do you mean, no?
you were saying. I said no because I mean you were saying you said biological speaking, but like having a fucking baby is not always the objective when having sex.
No, yes, of course, of course. You have like human beings have sex for pleasure because it feels good, but
I
I
think
mean
some animals do
biologically.
too. Just have sex.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, I just mean that like a fetish, I feel like is something that it's different than the normal thing. Like if you want to have sex with a woman, like penis and vagina, you wouldn't say that I have a fetish for vagina. Like that doesn't make sense because that's just the normal thing. I don't know. It's weird. Like if you're like I want to fuck someone's armpit, I would be like, oh, that's a fetish because that's weird. Like that, not weird, but like it's different.
No, but like the whole point is like the reason why they're horny is because they're gonna fucking come and make a baby.
Yeah, but that's normal, right? Like, I mean, isn't that the whole thing?
No, but like the pregnancy part is like yeah, it's like is like the it's like the part where they fucking they're getting off to is like
the idea of impregnating someone, not just
it's just not the act, it's the idea of putting the baby inside.
That's interesting, very interesting. I still don't know if it's a fetish, but I guess it's more specific than I was giving.
Well, I mean, like if you want to have a kid, you're not getting horny at the thought. It's like, yeah, my wife's gonna be fucking pregnant. Let's go. Like
I guess.
Like,
I guess.
You're just when you're trying to have a kid, you're like, well, I'm gonna fucking nut in you.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have a kid.
No protection.
Hopefully.
Okay, I guess there's a difference there. I guess. And finally, I think we can end on this quite further, rather depressing story. Just on the west coast of Trinidad, the island, there is an oil tanker with 55,000 gallons of crude oil that is currently, as we speak right now, sinking into the ocean. And I guess nothing is being done about it?
Yeah, I think they're I don't know if you said it. I don't know if I was reading about it, but they're worried about like cleaning it up because they don't want to do it. They want to clean it up wrong. Because then there could be some fines for that one.
Oh, so like, oh, I see,
I see.
So
clean it up.
That's crazy, but like, it's sinking right now. They need can they not save it? Is it not possible to like save a ship that's sinking? How does that work? I've played Sea of Thieves, but
like, how do you do it?
I don't know.
You know, it's like a sinking.
I don't know.
Ship
there has
weird.
to be
it's
some
like
way,
fucking,
right?
Like helicopter, because then you have to like, what if the helicopter just fucking starts, fucking crashing, Like,
but there must be some way. It's not like they're just like, oh, whoopsie, we lost the ship. Like that, it like springs a leak on one deck, and they're like, oh, I guess this ship is dead now. Like a half inch of water. Yeah, half inch of water is in the bottom of the ship, and they're like, oh, I guess that's it. No, of course they must have a way to save it, right?
I mean,
why wouldn't they?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
It's so fucking crazy. There's so many like oil ships just chilling out in the ocean because no one's really driving right now.
Yeah, but oil prices are going down, which is good.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, dude. I was able to fill up my car for like $15. It was crazy.
I know, right? That's crazy, dude. I talked in healthcare economics class about the 2007 oil crisis where gas was like $4 a gallon. Do you even remember that?
Oh yeah.
How old were you at that time? Like 6-ish, something like that.
Wait, what time?
I'm pretty sure like, yeah, I think I was like only 1 year older than you, so.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
I barely remember it. That's crazy.
I just remember it being talked about on the radio, and
yeah, I remember my mom complaining like,
"Can you believe this shit?
Can you believe gas is? I remember when gas was 25 cents a gallon, and you could go to the drive-in theater and just for $1.
It's like pump the gas into your car.
Yes, yes. God, I can't say that. Never mind. I was gonna make a racist joke that my grandma would say, but it's a little too edgy for me. I'm not willing to do this problematic humor. Okay. I'm good.
You.
Breaking. I will never listen to the Beach Boys again. They're playing at a Trump event.
GG.
Yikes. And on that note.
Yeah, but
thank you for we need to do our Patreons and shout outs and stuff.
Yeah, but just a little more on like the oil shit.
Shit.
It's very sad. There's gonna be a lot of animal life affected by this. Especially what happened like all those it was a while ago. Fuck. But there was like that huge oil spill. I don't know if like this is gonna be on the same scale where you were seeing like all these like fucking birds and fucking like just soaked covered in oil. It's just the saddest thing ever. And I
Yeah.
think it's so weird that like soap people like Dawn try to
Dawn,
like
yeah.
like profit off of it by like, you know, putting like, you know,
Showing the
clean
animals.
animals and like stuff like that. It's like, you know, to clean these animals we use Dawn soap to clean the oil off it. You know, it's like
So weird, man.
yeah, it's just so fucked.
Yeah, and it started this new trend on TikTok too, where people will like buy ducks and put them in oil just so that they can like clean it on TikTok and post
Wait,
it.
really?
Yes, I saw this one
What?
this one girl in particular. It's this really young white girl that had like a million ducks. It looked like she lived on a farm. She had like 15, 20 ducks, and she just like off camera, she puts them in a fucking pool of oil. And then she like does a TikTok of herself cleaning them off. Such a weird fucking
What
thing to
the
do. And then
fuck?
she gets called out for it because she has like a whole incubator and like a whole thing to take care of ducks. And like she very obviously just dirtied the ducks so that she could clean it off.
That's
weird.
so fucked.
Fucking weird.
Like, I don't know if you remember this, but there was I think it's still happening. There's a trend on YouTube where like people would put animals in dangerous situations and like save them.
Yes,
and, like, record
exactly.
themselves saving them.
Yes. Weird, right?
So
Like,
fucking
because
odd.
it's a popular like trend where people will like find animals in dangerous situations in the wild. Like they'll find like a goat that with like its horn caught on like a fence or something, and they help it, which is nice. That's a
Yeah,
good
and
thing
those
to
get
do.
millions of views because it feels good content. But
Yes,
there's
exactly.
fucking disgusting ass people in this fucking world
Yeah.
who are like, I could profit off this.
Yes,
and they,
exactly.
And they put their pets, like their own fucking pets, in these dangerous situations, and they're so fucking lazy that they'll use the same fucking pet and like put that dog in multiple like different situations, like they're like stuck or they're fucking like hanging or something. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Or yeah, exactly. That is fucking. If I knew one of my friends was doing that, I'd probably get in a physical fight with them. That is so
Bro,
horrific.
I would
and
uninstall
horrible.
them from this universe, man.
Seriously, like that's
that
terrible. I would
up.
be so angry. Holy shit. Animals equals views. Exactly, dude. I need to get my dog in here. Maybe that's how this podcast finally takes off. Like 500 viewers watching at all times. Just get my dog on
cam.
Your
fucking dog on cam. Like, he's too fucking loud. It's not good for the recording environment.
Yeah, asshole.
But yeah, I mean, like, we've been fucking streaming for a fucking bit here. It's a pretty fat episode.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had a good time. It was a fucking another good episode. Episode 36. Soon, we'll have like a anniversary. Get some champagne out. Fucking pop
oh
a
yeah,
bottle.
that'll be exciting.
Get some like sprinklers or some shit.
Yeah, some orange, some mimosas. Have you ever had a mimosa? Wait, you're under 21. In Minecraft, have you ever had a mimosa?
Yes, of course, dude.
Yeah?
The champagne
fucking delicious.
God damn.
Yes, I fucking love mimosa. Shout out to Hope for Paws for doing it right. I've never heard of them, but with a name like that, goddamn, they better be good. Hope for Paws.
Yes. And before we end this episode, of course, we gotta thank our lovely Patreons who are constantly supporting this channel every goddamn month.
Yes, and before you do that, I want to thank Fritz too for showing up personally.
Yes.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for showing up to the episode. You know, I always love it when there's someone in the chat interacting with us. That's
yeah,
you know, like
sure.
Before we started doing live streams and we're just doing you know, just like recordings where it's just me and Caleb just going at it. You know, it honestly does a lot to further the conversation or even like bring up things that, you know, we may have not thought of. You know, while we were doing a recording. But I love the live stream format. I love being able to interact with people in chat, seeing what they think, and getting that live response. But yes.
For sure.
But of course, I want to thank our Patreons who are constantly supporting us every goddamn month. Kylie Justice, James, Adani. Sorry, I don't know. Davinci. Peyton Adams and Grunt 980. You know, we have 4 Patreons right now, but you know that number when it fucking grows, you know, my heart also grows.
Yes, my heart flutters each time I get that email.
It skips a beat, you know, when it says you have a new Patreon. I'm like, oh damn, someone likes our content that much that they're willing to throw the 8 quarters at us.
Exactly.
Fucking insane. And not only that, but I posted some. I posted a new Patreon exclusive content, some work in progress. It's October right now. So, I was just trying to get people in the spooky mood, and I was reading a scary story, just something I was working on. But that's up on Patreon right now. You can check that out. Only on Patreon. Can't find that content anywhere else. But,
Yes, sir.
but with that, Caleb, it's been a wonderful episode.
It has, man. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate everyone watching, listening. Thanks, and we will definitely catch you in the next one.
Oh, there's your dog. But yes, thank you for listening and watching Left in the South podcast, episode 36. Goodbye.
For sure.